So, Elon promised Mars in 2016, 2020, and then again in 2024. Was he serious about it? Or was it a marketing stunt to get government contracts and attracting talent? Because recently, Elon backtracked his Mars plan and announced the Artemis moon plan with NASA. In early February 2026, the trajectory of SpaceX changed. In a series of public statements and investor memos, Elon Musk confirmed what many industry analysts had suspected for months. SpaceX is deprioritizing Mars. After decades of branding centered on the red planet, the company is now pivoting its primary resources towards a self-growing city on the moon. The official reasoning? Faster iteration. Musk pointed out that the moon allows for launch windows every 10 days, compared to the 26-month wait for Mars. But to long-time observers, this isn't just a change in schedule, it's a fundamental shift in the company's identity. Since its inception, Mars has been the North Star for SpaceX. It was the goal that justified its massive valuations and secured its top-tier talent. But as the 2026 Mars window closes without a single Starship leaving for the red planet, a more skeptical theory is gaining traction. Was the Mars mission always a secondary goal? Was it, in fact, a masterclass in strategic marketing designed to fund a different kind of empire? Today, we analyze the business, the physics, and the billion-dollar pivot. To determine if Mars was a gimmick, we have to look at its utility as a business tool. In the 2010s, SpaceX wasn't just competing with NASA, it was competing with Silicon Valley for talent. Traditional aerospace companies like Boeing or Lockheed Martin offered stability. SpaceX offered the mission. Internal surveys and recruitment data consistently showed that engineers were willing to work longer hours for lower than market pay because they believed they were working on the multi-planetary future. Mars wasn't just a destination, it was a human resource strategy. From a venture capital perspective, a satellite launch company has a ceiling, but a company building the infrastructure for a new civilization has an infinite upside. Every time Musk presented a new Mars architecture in 2016, 2017, and 2019, the company's valuation surged. By 2026, SpaceX reached a valuation of $1 trillion. Mars provided the narrative premium that allowed the company to raise billions in private capital, which was then funneled into its two actual revenue drivers, Starlink and government contracts. While the marketing was flawless, the physics of 2026 have proven difficult to overcome. Three specific technical walls have forced the delay of the Mars mission. 1. Orbital refueling scale. The current Starship V3 architecture requires 12 to 16 tanker launches to refuel a single Mars-bound ship. As of early 2026, SpaceX has yet to demonstrate a high-cadence automated refueling cycle. The logistics of launching 16 rockets within a tight window are currently beyond the capacity of even Starbase and the Cape. 2. Radiation and mass. New data from the 2024-2025 deep space probes confirmed that solar radiation shielding for a 6-month crewed journey requires significantly more mass than initially estimated. This extra mass creates a cascade effect. More mass requires more fuel, which requires more refueling launches, pushing the mission further out of the realm of current feasibility. 3. The Sabatier paradox. To return from Mars, SpaceX needs to manufacture fuel on the surface using the Sabatier reaction. This requires massive amounts of power and autonomous mining of subsurface ice, technologies that are still in the early prototype phase in 2026. The Moon, by comparison, requires no orbital refueling for uncrewed missions and significantly less for crewed ones. It's a 3-day trip versus a 180-day trip. By 2026, the engineering reality had simply diverged too far from the 2016 vision. Perhaps the most objective piece of evidence for the gimmick theory is the recent merger between SpaceX and xAI. In February 2026, a company memo detailed a new strategic priority, space-based AI. The lunar logic, high-performance AI clusters require massive amounts of cooling and energy. Terrestrial data centers are facing growing regulatory and environmental hurdles. The moon's south pole offers near-constant sunlight for power and a natural vacuum for heat dissipation. The latency, the ping, between Earth and the moon is roughly 1.3 seconds, manageable for AI processing. The latency to Mars is 20 minutes, impossible for real-time integration. By prioritizing the moon, SpaceX isn't just following NASA's lead, they are building the infrastructure for an AI-driven orbital economy. Mars, which has no immediate economic utility, simply cannot compete with the lunar data center business model in the eyes of investors. Even if we categorize Mars as a marketing tool, we must acknowledge its success. By framing Starship as a Mars vehicle, SpaceX accomplished something no moon-only plan could have: contractual dominance.
Starship's sheer size, necessary for Mars, made it the only viable choice for NASA's Artemis human landing system. SpaceX won the contract because they were already building the most capable rocket in history. Public support. Space exploration often faces criticism regarding spending money in space instead of on Earth. The Planet B narrative effectively neutralized this for a large segment of the public, creating a level of brand loyalty usually reserved for consumer electronics like Apple. If SpaceX had been honest and only proposed a lunar landing in 2016, they might have faced more competition. By overshooting for Mars, they effectively captured the entire deep space market. So, was it a gimmick? If the definition of a gimmick is a trick intended to attract attention, then the Mars mission fits the bill. It attracted the money, the talent, and the contracts. However, in the world of high-stakes technology, the line between a gimmick and a visionary goal is often defined by the end result. As of February 2026, the result is clear. We are going to the moon. Starship is a real, flying, and revolutionary vehicle. It may not be landing on Mars this decade, but it has single-handedly reopened the lunar frontier. The Mars mission was likely the greatest North Star in history, a goal intentionally set beyond the reach of current technology to ensure that the progress made in the attempt would be enough to dominate the industry. Whether Elon Musk ever truly believed in the 2024 or 2026 Mars dates is secondary to the fact that his company now controls the pathway to the stars. What do you think? Is the pivot to the moon a logical step, or is it proof that the Mars dream was a tactical distraction? Let us know your thoughts on the 2026 strategy in the comments.